Encore. Take the architecture of the wrist, how the hands flit, hinged and bony as a blur of wing, pulling each egret across the slow drag of the lake. Or the way the whole flock, given the hound dog's suffragio and the report refrain of some pistol. How each tendon, how every muscle of the limb seems to reach some agreement and move. Even in the box seats, the balcony, the taste of that song tangled like moss about my Adam's apple. And I see them beginning to stand and applaud. And if I could spoon out every eye or fasten their tongues like red scarves around a flagpole, think, come morning, for both of us, rich men. So I wait for them to release their bellies, to rest their elbows, to stop slapping their knees. I adjust my top hat, smooth my hands against my breast and tail. I step center stage. I steady and bow. I'm very interested in representations and performances of race and in theater. I had this project on vaudeville and some early film. This next poem was published in 11/11, and I was very excited to have that in that space. Clarence Muse stars as the magical Negro in Francis Ford Coppola's The Black Stallion, 1979. Since the story begins with sugar, the dark and muscular storm of a horse, and its Epicurean propensity for sweets, who could be surprised when you emerge from the mist? Your hair, the cotton white smoke of hellfire, that toothless tangerine gummed click, click, to move your buggy along this Lexington back alley, this dirt road river Styx. I think we were meant to love you, just as the boy who should not have lived kept roping his noodle arms at the base of the neck of the black. Yes, there's prayer and shipfire, the long sequence of trust in the burning sands. That gallop like a locomotive strumming a harp. The black, and my oldest son, for once silent, in our basement's 60-watt gloom. It's a big deal, my son is really talkative, so anything that kind of stopped him in his tracks. This next poem references Butterfly McQueen. She's best known for her role in Gone with the Wind. You have the line, I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. She left Hollywood because she was tired of the role she received, constantly playing maids. In real life, she ended up actually being a maid. And this poem is an elegy, remembering her and thinking about the tragic end of her life. Miss Thelma. our butterfly, our fancy warbler, roiling in a scramble of night. Oh, sweet oblivion, home. The body's bounty and the heart trilling. All that soft weight burning, a pulse of light, the smell of camphor splayed. The song centered around how the fire flapped its tongue. Oh, cobalt heart, satin baby doll, inked out and twirling on a twisted spoon. Her voice like a sparrow in a pillbox. Hear how the shadow palmed the sun, how it scoured wood. She slept nude. Oh, bone rattle, Augusta, our Thelma, our song unfolding. Tragically, her neighbors had no idea who she was. There was a kerosene fire in her home in her 80s, and it wasn't until after her death that people, and everyone, this was in the South, everyone, of course, loved Gone with the Wind and had no idea. Their neighbor had anything to do with the film. This next poem is a rewriting of a skit from Amos and Andy. And I do have a sense of humor, but for some reason I laugh at the wrong thing. So I'm constantly like gauging what's funny and what's not. So then I kind of look at it and like, oh, they're laughing. It's the kingfish, honey, pining. So I'm telling this fellow at the package store about Sapphire and how sometimes I get all muddle-headed with want. See, like how back in Marietta, I was the cat's pajamas, a high muckety-muck, my cherry. Now I'm talking to Sapphire in my finest, genuine Castilian French, my cherry. And she's cutting her eyes. Her dress cornflower, I think. And I got my best hat in my hand, friend. The music, the floorboards on her mama's front porch, keeping rhythm like sweet and Jesus. And I say, you ain't never need to want for house money again. I say, we can fashion us a mighty fine honeypot north. Hear me out, Andy. It's not when or how the woman slaps you that sting like an eye tooth first breaking the skin. It's waking up 20 years later and finding your nose is still wide open. The front matter. Pity the ring dove, the silver-tongued coxcomb, throb and pulse, the hurly-burly of the hurdy-gurdy man. Pity the pomp, all the prunes and prisms, that miscellany of light located beneath the lips and gums. It's all that cockeyed peacockery, the dumb show, high-flown, guffaw, and that garbled moonlight. Now, I got the big talk. I'll play the heavy. Watch me in my cap and bells, my jingle. In a nutshell, all patter and ballyhoo aside, I'm aping the sun. I am the Jack Pudding. I reckon to out-Herod Herod and trademark my move. I have two poems. This next poem is a rewriting of a joke from vaudeville. These jokes are always absurd, called conundrums. So from the title, you get kind of the absurdity of it. They're always kind of horrific, reading back through them. He's his own grandfather. And if you ask the genealogist, it's all pie chart and phylum, some enigmatic sequence of amino acid and event, an anagram or some kind of backwoods and backward cartography of the blood, a colored conundrum of cousins and sister cousins, relations to dead relations, and the extra extraordinary philanderings of an ex-short-term family friend. Of fruit, my stock is teeming, and I'll be the first to admit the bark, the boughs are full and still blooming on my proverbial tree. This last poem references Ruby Bates, who was the accuser in the Scottsboro case in the 30s. If you don't know anything about the Scottsboro case, Ruby Bates, I think I love you. I can be your boxcar dark, and our eyes standing lit and still as settled coal. I'll be your wind-drawn song, a quiver from the gap at the door. I can be a beaded night, that catgut, the fruit-laden bough in another broke-down Alabama song. So don't you dawdle now, darling. We'll marshal this bale our bunk. Can't you feel how the hound dogs tussle and pull in the ragweed, chasing the arc light, the low swinging lamplight? Don't you worry none about that matted hair, the rail's iron lip, its hum, the double click like a tongue, or the hammer of a just cocked gun.